Cool. All right. Yeah, so APIs. So API represents an application programming interface. So a common example that's given when describing APIs is like, it's like the menu that you find at a restaurant. Because basically what you want to do with when you're given a menu is you want to order some food, and that food could be represented as data. And so you're sending a GET request for this type of data to some API. And so basically you're ordering food from a restaurant and using the menu to say, oh, I want this specific piece, I want this meal, I want this specific piece of data. So a menu provides a list of dishes, and it also gives you a description, just like a specific request can give you the type of data you want and what data is given. And so when you order a dish or when you're asking for data, the kitchener system is basically saying, prepare the dish and we're going to serve it to you. Yeah. So let's give a hard definition to APIs. So APIs are basically the menus of software applications. And so they define a set of rules and requests that a program can use to interact with another program. So it allows different software programs to communicate and share data. So this is kind of like the basis of once you're going into the real world, you're going to start having to interface with maybe web APIs, which we'll talk about later. Okay, maybe you'll have to work with databases, and the interface that you use to go get data from an interface or like the web is the API. And so these are used everywhere. Like for example, when you're logging into your email, you have to check the API. You need to check for your username, check for your password. And so you find them everywhere basically. Some of the examples of like public ones are Twitter, I guess X now, ChatGPT, no longer Canvas, I guess, Spotify. And so how do they work? So basically you're having an application, let's say application A, and it's going to make a request, and it's going to send that request to application B. And then so B is going to process the request, and it's going to send back the data you asked for. It's very simple. It's like, it's actually not that hard to implement either. Their APIs are basically the building blocks of, you can basically build impressive applications using them. It's like, I think it was 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, we had that presentation on a Spotify React program, which was like making playlists, right? That was using the Spotify API itself, and that's impressive. But it's also really easy to do. It's also very easy to accomplish. So here's an example that I have. So this is just a very, very short program that is checking the, I basically can ask ChatGPT a question just from my own console without actually going to ChatGPT itself. And so let me go ahead and run it.
Do you want to zoom in a little bit as well?
Yeah. There we go. So I can just ask a question, maybe like, what's the capital of the USA? And you don't even have to spell it right. And there you go, it's Washington, D.C. And so this program will keep going until you say exit. But like, it's also very easy to implement, right? This is what, 27 lines of code? And all I'm doing is saying, I'm putting it in a while loop, and I'm saying, give me input from a string that you enter in console. And then I'm sending a response to OpenAI's API, which is ChatGPT. And I'm saying, use this specific engine, and these are just like things that they require you to do, but this is all like in documentation for you. And it's only done in 4 lines here. Well, the only thing that's special about this is that you need to have an API key right here. And these you kind of just go into your account and you can generate them. This is just specific to my account, so it will only link up to my account and send these prompts forward. But like, I was working on an assignment, it was 2 weeks ago, and I was working with Canvas API, and I was actually able to grab assignments from Canvas without having to go through like multi-factor authentication. So it's a very, very powerful tool that can get you direct pieces of data whenever you need it. And you can also implement it in many, many different ways. That's only just one. And so just to end off here, I have 3 different types of APIs just to give a brief talk about, because there's, I don't know, 15 plus different APIs. And so the web APIs are really common. There's like Twitter, Spotify, just these type of things. So they allow web services to communicate with each other over the internet, and they enable data exchange and functionality and sharing between different web applications. And then there's database APIs. You can hear about GraphQL or just standard database like MySQL. They facilitate interactions between software applications and databases, and so they allow applications to perform operations like querying, updating, and managing data. And then there's AI, ML APIs, just like that OpenAI demo I just did. And they give you like models that you could query for and use their heuristic analysis for. So it's very, very easy, very interesting, to me at least. And so if you have any more questions for me, then go ahead.
Does it cost to use the ChatGPT or the OpenAI API that you used? Like, does it cost money to use that in your app?
So they give you $5 for free when you make your account, and it's like 0.0004 cents per request.
Okay, cool.
So you get like at least 1,000 requests, but you can't make an automated or like a widely used application without paying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Twitter does way more. You can go like 20,000 requests.
Mm-hmm.
Spotify, I'm pretty sure you don't have to pay that much or at all. And a lot of them are actually pretty free though. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where do you find documentation? Like, say you want to use an API, how do you then learn how to use that specific API?
They actually have really good documentation themselves. So let's just go to OpenAI, I guess. So if I want to just go to their API, right? It's just a quick Google search. Let's go to the second link. So there's this link called API reference. Obviously, like if I want to go, I'll just take Canvas, for example. They just generally have documentation that you can go to. And then there's always like the basics tab, and they'll get you going. A lot of it is not really that hard. It's just getting the syntax down for your first request. Because once you make the first request, you're fine.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's dependent on language. So this one's Python. It's just a quick like, for Python you actually have to like install OpenAI's like library. But for Canvas, for example, let me see if I can grab this one. This one's in React. Yeah. So you have to import like some module called Axios, and that helps you get HTTPS requests. And then you try to just give it the API URL, and the APIs will give them to you. If it's not there, then it's kind of intuitive in a way. So to connect to the Pacific Canvas, it was just like pacific.instructure.com/API. So generally it's all
like different on per site.
Yeah,
like
it's different per site. Yeah, I can't say there's a definite way other than like just the documentation.
Yep.
But like it's all professional documentation, so it's really clean and nice. Yeah. All right.
Can I hear more about your project?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So last year they implemented two-factor authentication, and I really hate that because I can't even sign into Canvas right now because I don't have my iPad. And so I was like, okay, Osvaldo said, let's make a project just any project has to take 5 hours or something, so it was like, okay, I'll make a project that will grab my assignments from Canvas, and then it will display the descriptions of those assignments and tell me what to do. So basically what I was able to do was, I was able to get it was a very simple GUI that I wanted to update eventually, but it sorted my assignments by day, and then it also had like a flashing reminder whenever it was 2 hours, 1 hour, and then 15 minutes before it was due. And so I was able to get the assignments until last week.
That's great.
Yeah,
That sounds really cool though.
yeah.
Did they try to revoke your API access or something?
Yeah, I literally just tried OpenAI just because I wanted a demo and it worked out. So I don't know, I tried it on 4 different computers. For the Canvas one, it didn't work.
That's good.
Yeah, so I just don't have access anymore. Yeah. Alright, I think I saw another hand, maybe not. No? Okay, and I can put some links in for OpenAI's documentation and a couple others if you need. Yeah, because it's all really easy to do. All you gotta do is just look up the syntax for your language. Like this is for React, and obviously I can send you guys this one as well. But yeah, very cool stuff.
Yeah, super neat.
Yep.